So, reason number 1874, part one of why everything worth having is free, and the drug companies are just going to sell crap that will not turn into anything of quality, is the sun. Two points about the sun. So, everyone has these photoreceptors in their eyes. We have a couple different kinds, some that perceive the world, but others that perceive the angle of the sun. So, even blind people have these receptors, these photoreceptors, and so they are the main drivers of our circadian rhythm clock thing being set properly. So if you're having trouble sleeping, instead of looking for taking some kind of supplement like melatonin, which is going to have all kinds of problems because if the body doesn't do it naturally, any kind of synthetic addition is just going to cause other problems and come with a long list of pros and cons, mostly cons, and of course money for corporations that could care less if you sleep. So the idea is when you wake up, you go outside, crazy thought, you see the sun, don't look straight at it, but you get sunlight in your eyes, and that helps those photoreceptors know, like, okay, and that sets the clock for your body. So most people are indoors all the time, and then if they're outdoors, they got sunglasses on and things that are blocking this. Then there's a whole nother mess with blue light from the phones that are also affecting those photoreceptors. So your body's not quite sure what time it is to go to sleep, whatever time that may be for your schedule. So when you try to go to sleep, you might want to go to sleep, you might decide that it's time to go to sleep, but your photoreceptors are unsure what time it is. So how do you set that clock inside your body? You got to see the sun. You got to get some sunlight. And if you're wondering, oh, what if it's cloudy or something like that? You could look at a light bulb, right? There's a measurement of this power of the sun. It's lux, right? And I think that's separate from just how bright something is. Because you could look at a light bulb and you can barely look at it. It's so bright. But the lux are like 100 or something like that. But then on a cloudy day, where you could look directly at wherever the sun is behind a cloud and it'll be like thousands, of lux. Google that. I forget the exact numbers, but it's a lot more when it's the real sun, natural, obviously. So you want to see the sun. You want to get sunlight every single day, cloudy or not. Then, more benefits would be as it's getting closer to sunset. If you're outside and you see the sun, that helps those photoreceptors know, like, okay, the time has moved, it's adjusted, and that can help you get into that rhythm. So, obviously, there are so many other things that you would have to do with this, and the more time you get with the sun, the better, but anything's a benefit, as opposed to avoiding the sun, not getting that sunlight ever, keeping your windows closed, never letting these photoreceptors get a chance to see the sun, and then being like, oh, I want to go to bed at 10, I don't know why I can, I feel so awake, and you're dead tired when you wake up at whatever time because you didn't really get any sleep. This is a good start, and it costs absolutely nothing, so get on it. Other things that are causing people to have bad sleep and messing up their circadian rhythm would be blue light from the phones and TV and stuff like that. So, we're not getting the light from the sun, but we're getting all this artificial light from other sources. So a lot of people, I think, like to watch TV at nighttime after work and all that before they go to bed, and that's a huge issue for sleep. It's not talked about because nobody makes money off of you not watching TV. So one thing you can do is try to move that time around to somewhere else, to either earlier if you can. I don't know what the right amount of time is. So I've heard an hour, I've heard 2 hours, But something that I do that at least helps a little if I do watch some kind of TV or look at my phone, before I go to sleep. I have an automatic dimmer night mode thing on my phone, and it comes on every time every day at 8:30, and I go to bed at 10:30. So that's 2 hours at least that if I'm like checking my phone or doing something I need to do on my phone, then at least I'm looking at a very, very gray, boring, low brightness version of my phone. The other thing I do is, and I rarely watch TV late. I'm fortunate with my scheduling of my job and stuff, but I have these glasses I got on Zennies that are like $20 or $30, which is crazy cheap because they're prescription, so that's usually way over $100, but they're like $10, and then you can add blue light filter for like another $10 or $15. You can see that yellow hue. So if it's ever after even like 5 o'clock or something and I watch TV, I put those on. I try to remember. I don't really need my glasses to see TV, but I could use them. So that helps incentivize me to put them on. But yeah, I wear them, especially if it's late. More important than any of these things would probably be schedule consistency, which no one feels like doing, but most people can do it. Why stay up later on the weekend, when you can, it's still 16 hours a week or 15 hours a week, depending on how much time you allocate to sleep. So go to bed at the same time every day, wake up at the same time every day, see the sun, give yourself a couple hours of no, artificial light, and just be consistent. That really is also going to help your circadian clock. So the combination of all of them are going to be the best. Lastly, I try not to eat a couple of hours before I go to bed because when your body is busy digesting at night, that's getting in the way of quality sleep, deep sleep, REM sleep, those stages. And I track it on Whoop, and I'll see like, even though I might have felt like I slept good, most of the sleep was light or something if I eat late. Whereas if I don't and I'm empty and my body's not busy digesting, then I get more of that time in deep and REM. So all these things add up together. If you can do all of them, then you're going to improve your sleep and it's going to cost you nothing. The amount of benefits that come with getting fantastic sleep every night just outweigh every other thing, that you would have to change to do this. And then once you get used to it, it's really not a big deal. But again, sleeping is free, and no giant corporation makes money off of you getting quality sleep. So I feel like that right there alone makes it worth having. Getting quality sleep is going to just have endless benefits. You're going to feel better, you're going to feel younger, you're going to look younger. Instead of buying some skin product or something to make your skin look younger, you just get better sleep. So you can do these things that are free. No corporation makes money off of it, and that's that.